Hello, hello, welcome to Quackalope, and today we are playing one of our favorites.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
This was on my holiday top 5, must-get recommendation list.
Still on mine.
Still on yours.
Yeah.
Wingspan, signed to Quackalope by Elizabeth Hargrave.
Yeah.
By the way, she totally promised that Quackalopes could be included if I only got that bird listed in a certified ornithological study.
You're working on that, right?
We're currently working on that. I've been talking with my grandfather, who was a biology professor, getting the details, the specifications, a little bit of lore, just so you know. The Quackalope, kind of eastern United States bird, seldom seen.
Oh, very seldom.
Two things we've decided. They actually shed their horns every winter for migration. That's why you see so many antlers throughout the forest. It's not just all the deer.
That makes sense.
And on top of that, you know how birds have a little nub on their beak to break out of their shell?
I do.
For the Quackalope, that's actually 2 little nubs on the top of their head. That allows them to protrude out of the shell, and then those actually stick around and develop into horns, which engage with territory control and sort of vying for more power and mating opportunities down the road. We're working on it, Elizabeth, I promise you. That being said, we have included here today both a friend, William, who went head-to-head with her in...
I did.
A labyrinth tournament and lost.
I did lose. Not poorly, but I did lose.
But you were holding
the Wingspan European expansion, this lovely purple box, which is beautiful.
So what this introduces is a whole stack of new birds, mostly from the European countries.
Yep.
A few new player powers when it comes to bird abilities. One specific type, which is going to be round-end bird abilities. So those happen after an entire round is cycled, not at the beginning of each stage or whenever you engage with a zone or a region. They also add a few new scoring conditions and a few new sort of objective cards.
Yep.
Along with a beautiful purple tray.
Yes, absolutely beautiful purple.
So we have set up the game state. If you've never played Wingspan before, the first few rounds of this will sort of walk you through how a game goes, so stick around, get a sense of the game. But just know this isn't a hardcore how to play. We're mostly going to dive into the gameplay and show people how these new cards and these new abilities might function and interact with their game state. We have a very, very European favorable deck here.
Very, very, very European favorable.
You're supposed to shovel all the bird cards together. We did so a little bit
lightly.
more biased. Yeah, we
Just
lightly
lightly.
did it. We wanted to be able to show off some of the new artwork, some of the new birds. We are also playing with all new endgame scoring conditions.
Yes, we are.
Our first player powers that we drew are unique to the European expansion specifically. We have the purple tray. We've brought in the purple eggs. This is
It's a European-themed game. Yes.
So
we definitely want to show off the new artwork by the artists here. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's lovely. I mean, this game is a bird book on your table.
It is a bird book.
It's everything my grandparents would bring out whenever I'd visit home.
I mean, we're in Washington, D.C. We're close to the National Audubon office, but we don't even need to go. It's right here.
It's right here. Our endgame scoring. Let's go over that and then let's swing into this game. We have food in your personal supply.
So food is actually worth something now. For people who have played Wingspan before, you can have food on the side of the table, and it's actually worth something.
Yep. Round 2 is going to be bird cards in one single row. So if I can get all my ducks in the pond, we're good to go.
In a row, you might say.
Yeah, exactly. Round 3, birds with no eggs.
No eggs. That is one that intrigues me. That's going to be
disincentivizing eggs.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to do for people who have played the game before. Eggs on birds are worth points at the end of the game.
Yeah,
so
there's a weird incentive there.
Yeah.
Round 4, birds with tucked cards. So really promoting some aggressive gameplay here.
It is, which is good.
And then up here we have the hawfinch, the great tit, and the Eurasian tree sparrow up here in our first sort of draw pile.
Yep.
When you start the game, we have 5 bird cards in our hand. We have 5 of our food type resources available to us. At the start of the game, we're going to
discard down to a total of 5 between the bird cards and the food.
So however many bird cards you want to keep, however many food items you want to hold on to.
Up to a total of 5.
All right. Let's go ahead and look at this and figure out what our strategy is going to be.
All right. I'm going to keep him.
Okay, well, I have to keep this one.
I'm going to keep this one.
You'll learn in a little bit why I have to keep this one.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this one so Jesse is jealous.
Need to hold... Oh, did you get a duck?
I may have.
Oh, no.
I might have done.
No, I should probably read what this one does.
I am keeping a rat and a worm. I believe they are specifically called invertebrates in the game, but I am just going to keep calling it the worm.
I need to show you this card, because this confuses me.
Woo!
When played, place this bird sideways so that it covers 2 spaces. Pay the lower egg cost. Why would I want to do that?
It gets you to this faster. It gets you better results faster.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then it fills up spaces you could use.
Yes, that is true.
Wow. Okay.
I think I think that's trying to simulate that it has a large range.
Yeah. It's just kind of like crazy. So I'm keeping 2 bird cards. I have them selected here. I need to discard down 2 of my food. I'll go ahead and get rid of these guys. And then what'd you end up keeping?
I have decided to keep 3 bird cards, which is going to be a little bit interesting because now I have to get rid of 3 food.
Okay.
I think I'm going to get rid of wheat, cherry, and fish and keep a rat and a worm or invertebrate.
All right. So at the start of the game, you're first player. You have the first player token here.
Cool. And we have a bird feeder full of food.
Yeah, you get all the wheat you would like.
Yeah.
Or some worms.
Or some worms. Or a rat. All of these things are very interesting. Which is why we're going to gain food from the bird feeder.
Okay.
I'm going to take that rat. Add it to my pile.
Okay. That's all you're doing?
That is what I'm doing.
Let's see. I want to check these abilities up here. So, the Hawfinch. When activated, reset the bird feeder. If you do, gain 1 wheat from the bird feeder after resetting. Great Tit. When activated, reset the bird feeder. If you do, gain 1 food die from the bird feeder after resetting.
Oh.
Okay, similar there. And the Eurasian Tree Sparrow. Once between turns, when another player takes a gain food action, gain 1 weed from the bird feeder at the end of their turn. Okay, interesting. So some food generation there. So I'm actually going to start off a little different from you. I'm going to go ahead and play a bird. So that'll go up here in this top action. I can play a worm and a mouse, which allows me to play down the European Roller, this beautiful colored bird.
It's a crazy bird.
This has a new ability on it too.
It does.
So we're swinging into European immediately. When played, place this bird sideways so that it covers 2 wheat spaces. Pay the lower egg cost. So I don't have any egg cost here because this is my first zone. This covers up both of these spaces.
And you're already going to be able to gain 3 eggs a turn.
But I don't need 3 eggs a turn. We're not supposed to get eggs.
Well, you know.
All right, that's my turn.
That's your turn. All right, I'm going to have a similar turn this turn to your previous turn, where I am also going to play a bird.
Okay.
I am going to play the beautiful Snowy Owl.
Ooh, the cover of the box.
You may remember from the cover of the box.
Yeah.
He costs 2 rats, and he's going there in the field area, much like yours. And he has a when played bonus. Draw 1 new bonus card. So I'm going to take another one of these.
Okay.
Then gain 1 bird or lay an egg on a bird.
Okay.
I'm going to take a random bird
Right from the top.
from the top. I think that is a good idea.
My turn. Let's see here. I'm going to go down here, and I'm just going to draw up some bird cards. So I'm just drawing 1.
All right. Sounds exciting. I'm going to gain some food from the bird feeder. I'm going to gain a cherry.
Okay. I'm also going to go ahead and gain some food from the bird feeder. I'm going to gain a worm.
This is interesting. I wish I had had this card at the beginning of the game instead of just drawing it. But we must do what we can do. And we must gain some more bird from the feeder.
Yeah.
Food from the feeder.
I'm doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I'm pulling a wheat, and that actually will reshuffle the entire
that'll trigger the reroll.
Thing. So let's toss them down the back here. Good mix. It's a good selection. We're missing cherries.
Yes, we are.
If you needed cherries, I'm sorry.
Too bad.
All right, your turn.
Right, my turn again. I'm gaining food from the bird feeder. This is different from any other game of Wingspan I've ever played. I've never had so
much in the game.
so
food
much
area.
in the game feeder. Yeah, it's very interesting. So I will limit your options by taking out that.
It's fine. It's fine. Because I don't need to do that. I'm actually going to play a bird.
Ooh, he's fancy.
So we're playing a long-tailed tit. When played, place this bird sideways so that it covers two of your forest locations.
Oh, no.
Pay the lower egg cost.
Oh, that's terrible.
So we're going right here. I'm paying a worm and a wheat. And I've filled up 4 spaces.
You have. That's very impressive.
It could be horrible for me or really, really good.
I hope it's really horrible.
Because those are actions that I'm not triggering now. You got to remember that.
No,
those
I know.
are 2 cheap areas to build that I'm not activating.
I understand. So I am going to play a bird now too. I am going to do... it feels like I'm following you, but I swear I'm not. I'm going to play the common blackbird, which goes down here. Now, he costs 2 cherries and a worm. I have a cherry and a worm. One of the things you can do in Wingspan, if you don't know this already, you can play
2 for 1.
Any 2 to count as 1.
Yep.
So I'm paying a total of 4, 3 invertebrates and a cherry, to put the common blackbird up there.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a gain food action. This time I get 2 food die.
So
I'm gaining
duck.
a fish. And I'm gaining... Oh, that's going to come back to haunt you on the very next turn. Okay. I've got my food.
That is... that's something. We're going to be boring again. Gain food from the bird feeder.
Food.
I can now take 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to take these 2 and turn them into 2 wheats.
Yep. Okay, I am going to go ahead and play another bird. Oh no, I can't do that yet. I need eggs first.
Oh no!
No, wait, I don't need eggs because I'm playing in this row. All right, that was a very emotional moment. I'm playing in the top there. I'm playing down the great crested grebe. This is a duck.
It is.
So I am going to read the flavor text at the bottom.
That's
just
perfectly fine.
And also, hang tight. This is going to be a wild ride.
Okay.
The great crested grebe parents will choose their favorite chick and rear them individually.
Very human in some
So the
ways.
artwork here has one little chick just here nesting right next to it. What happens to all the other babies?
Natural selection has its way.
I suppose. So this is cool. The Great Crested Grebe. When activated, draw 1 bird card for each empty card slot in this row. At the end of your turn, keep 1 and discard the rest.
Wow, these are some powerful cards.
Yeah.
When they're merged a little bit more with the basic Wingspan birds, that is going to bring in some crazy possibilities.
Some cool combinations.
Yeah, I think so. Since this is the thing that we're doing and the thing and the thing and the thing, we're going to gain some food.
Cycle this food.
All right, what do we got?
What do you want? What do you want?
None of that.
Worm, fish.
Once again, you have...
That technically should have been rolled before you selected there, though.
Yeah.
So...
That's fine. I will take a fish and a worm.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to take this one, so I limit your options.
Okay.
Because that's the kind of gamer I am.
I suppose he's very aggressive. Very aggressive. So... Activated means whenever I play in a place next to it, right?
Well, no. When you play there, you take the action.
Yeah.
In this case, draw bird cards, and then you activate the brown power.
Yeah. So I'm going to do just that with my last cube.
Yep.
I'm playing here. I am gaining 1 card.
Yep.
Okay. I then could spend an egg to get a card. I don't have any eggs.
Have no eggs.
But this will then allow me to draw 4 more cards.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the turn, keep 1 and discard the rest.
Yep.
So this is the one I already have in my hand.
Yep.
I'm going to draw 4, choose to keep 1, and discard the rest.
Wow. That is impressive.
And I'll let you go ahead and go while I figure this out.
This is the last turn around, my friend.
That's it?
Yeah, you got to finish up, and then we're done.
So I've kept this card.
All right.
These guys are going to be discarded. And we are...
It's the end of round 1.
End of round 1. Ooh, I got no food.
You got no food?
I got 1. I got 1, actually.
Well, I got 4, so...
Okay. So you're going to place a cube there in first place.
Yep, and you place 1.
I go to second place there, because I at least have 1 food.
Okay. I don't remember exactly how it works.
Yeah.
So
right. I'm second place there. Next, birds in 1 row.
Well, first we have to clear these birds since nobody decided to take them.
No,
they get
not very
cleared and we
interesting.
get...
We're getting a northern gannet. When activated, roll all dice, not in bird feeder. If there are any fish, gain that many fish from the supply and cache them on this bird.
That's impressive.
That's a cool cycling one. We're getting Eleonora's falcon. When activated, roll all dice not in the bird feeder. If there are any rats, place 1 egg on this card. And then the next one, this is a short-toed tree creeper. When activated, discard 1 egg from any bird. If you do, play another bird in your forest. Pay its normal food and egg cost. This bird uses its long beak to feed on insects hidden in tree bark crevices.
Very interesting. Some very, very
I gotta
interesting
say,
birds.
that northern gannet has my attention.
I can imagine that he would.
Yeah, very cool. But he's not a duck, so...
He is not. It is, however, your turn to be first
The
player.
only thing I'm concerned about is exactly how many ducks are in this deck. Because if I'm going with my duck-only pawn down here...
you might fail at that just a little bit.
It might be a struggle.
You'll have to cycle through those cards fast, which you can do with your duck power down there.
That's true. That is very true.
All right, so it's your go first.
Okay. But a gull's not a duck.
A gull is not a duck.
Okay, so I'm going to cycle all my cubes off here. I'm going to start by gaining some food. So I'm going to go ahead and gain a rat, and I'll go ahead and gain a worm.
Okay. Take my cubes off.
Okay.
All right, I think I'm going to follow you on this journey, but I'm going to have you re-roll all of that, because I don't want that wheat.
Reroll everything? Mm-hmm. How can you have me do that?
It's the only type of food. If all the dice are the same in the bird feeder, you can choose to re-roll them.
Okay. Well, there you are. There's your options.
I'm going to have to start rolling these dice, Jesse. That's been 3 times now where you have not given me what I want.
I really like wheat and worms. What can I say?
I cannot comment on that. I will take another worm and another fish.
Okay.
I'll take them from your pile since you're not rolling well.
All right. I'm going to go down here to draw bird cards. I'm going to go ahead and draw 1, which gets added to my hand. Draw
That is a
4,
crazy
1,
power.
2.
Oh my
3,
goodness.
4. You can go ahead and start your turn while I check what these guys do.
So we've looked ahead at some of the rules in the rule book, and having so many bird cards in your hand is going to be super powerful moving forward.
Well, I discard all but 1.
Well, but you also gain 1 from every time you take that row action.
That's true.
So
that's
good.
true.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay some eggs. Pick up some of these purple eggs and a blue egg too. So we're going to lay an egg on the snowy owl and an egg on the common blackbird.
Okay, so I've selected my card. I have 3 that I'm discarding. You just did something with your turn. I didn't pay attention.
I did. I laid some eggs.
Okay.
In spite of our round 3 goal.
Okay, and let's see here. Ooh, you're very cool, but I don't think you're a duck either. I'm having a real problem with lack of ducks.
Well, you know.
But I think all can be settled. I am going to go ahead and play here. I'm going to be gaining 3 eggs. So let's pull some of these purple eggs.
I've heard, my mom told me when I was growing up that the purple eggs are the most delicious. Some mothers say that brown eggs are the most delicious.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Good to know. Okay.
All set?
Yep.
All right, now I'm going to play a bird. What am I going to do with my bird? Well, he's going to be the European goldfinch. He costs 2 wheat, and then I'm also going to have to pay, once again, a total of 4, because I don't have those cherries, because Jesse's rolling is atrocious. So, he goes down there, and that... Oh, he also costs an egg, so the snowy owl is going to pay that egg.
Okay. I'm going to go down here and dig just a little bit more.
Ooh.
So 1 card here into my deck. Let's get more of these European burbs up into my hand.
Yes.
4, and I get to choose which one I keep. Ooh, shocking lack of ducks.
It's been your story of the game so far, a lack of ducks.
Okay, you can go ahead and go while I look at this.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to draw a bird card, a single bird card, and we'll see what happens. Okay.
All right, I've kept a card. These guys will be discarded. I have a new player power that I'm about to show off.
Uh-oh.
So this will be fun. I am playing an Eastern Imperial Eagle.
Oh, yes.
When played, for each mouse in this bird's cost, you may pay 1 card from your hand instead. If you do, tuck the paid card behind this card.
Dear viewers, you may have remember when I mentioned that having a hand of bird cards would come in handy for Jesse. It has now started to come in handy.
So, we are going to feed this Eastern Imperial Eagle
Yes.
a blue throat,
Oh no.
a common moorhen,
Oh no.
and a black-headed gull.
Oh, it's a slaughter.
So I don't pay for anything. All of these get tucked behind this beautiful eagle bird,
Which, wow.
and I have to pay an egg
do have
to
to
go
pay an
ahead
egg.
and play that one.
My goodness. You are setting yourself up well, good sir. I gonna do a very surprising thing. Gain
Okay.
food from the bird feeder.
Ooh, fascinating.
So we're gonna gain a worm and a worm. And it is your turn again.
Okay, I'm going to spend 1 worm. No, I'm playing a bird. I think I'll play it. I'll play it up here. So I'm spending 1 plus 2 eggs for the cost up there to play the common nightingale. Beautiful bird. Choose a food type. All players gain 1 of that food from the supply when activated. So, that's not a win played, that's a win activated.
When activated,
But
yep.
the nightingale's song has been called one of the most beautiful sounds of nature.
Agreed.
Same thing said about this channel.
Oh,
Yeah.
a random thing I did not know.
Yep.
All right, I'm also going to play a bird. It's going to be the carrion crow.
Okay.
He is going to cost a worm and then any color food. So I'm going to pay a fish for him, and he's also going to cost an egg.
Okay.
So this has one of the new player powers available in the European expansion, the teal colors. So choose any one player, including yourself, to cash a rat from the supply onto this bird for each hunting bird that player has.
So that card could be playing off of my board.
Yeah.
If I'm doing hunting birds,
Right.
that
So you
could
can
take
think-
advantage of it. You're picking
Yeah.
the scraps. So I've got one last action
He's a
I can
carrion
take.
crow.
I'm going to do that here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and rescue this guy, the northern gannet, and then go ahead and draw my 4 and pick through them.
All right.
Ooh, so this in fact
Ooh.
might be a duck,
Oh my goodness.
and if it is the most fabulous duck I've
is.
ever. Can I just share this with the
Needs
the
to
board?
be shared.
Because
He
you
is
know,
fabulous.
you know I'm keeping this rough.
Oh yes.
I don't even care what I have here. This
Keep
rough
him.
must be kept.
Wow.
Holy cow. All right. During breeding season, male ruffs grow showy collars that can be black, white, or brown. Well, this guy
He
is currently in breeding season.
Yes, he is. Holy moly. All right, we're going to fill up the row here with a card.
Okay.
We got a common swift.
Common Swift. Round end. Discard up to 5 worms from your supply. For each, tuck 1 card from the deck behind this bird.
That is
super powerful
supremely
for our
interesting.
end goal.
which is why he's
Yes.
coming home with me.
I mean, that just makes sense.
It really does.
That's end round.
That is the end of the round, yes.
Okay, I don't feel like my engine's up and running as
No.
effectively as it normally is.
No, not even close.
This European expansion has some really powerful cards.
Very powerful birds.
That I think are going to merge in a really interesting way in the core game.
Yeah.
But
I
playing heavy Euro, a little bit hard to get those gears turning.
Who knew playing a heavy Euro would be a little bit harder? Anyway.
So, let's see here. Birds in one row. I have 3. You also have 3. I believe the rule is first and second place get added and then divided.
Yeah.
So we'd both score 3 points effectively. So let's just stick it kind of in the middle there.
Yep, that makes
That'll
sense.
indicated we're on a tie. Next one, birds with no eggs.
We're both at an advantage at that point. At this
but
point.
we're both also lined up to produce all the eggs we could ever want.
Yes, that is very true.
So Yeah. All right, pull your cubes off your board.
Done.
I believe you're first player again.
I am first player again, and I'm
Okay.
going to start by not playing a bird. I'm going to start by laying some eggs.
Ooh, bad move.
Well, you know, you got to live on the edge.
Bad
so
move.
we'll just.
Oh, and let's go ahead and recycle these.
Oh, thank you for remembering that.
Up on the top here, we have a little owl.
Ooh.
When activated, steal 1 rat from another player's supply and cash it on this bird. They gain 1 die from the bird feeder. We have a common kingfisher. That is a pretty bird.
He is.
When activated, steal 1 fish from another player's supply and cash it on this bird. They gain 1 die from the bird feeder.
Kingfisher is very common in Australia. I've actually seen them before.
And a Maltese wobbler. Round end, if you use all 4 types of actions this round, play another bird. Pay its normal food and egg cost.
So I almost forgot my end of
Oh, yeah.
round person here. Choose any one player, including yourself, cash a rat from the supply. For each hunting bird the player has. Jesse, I believe you have a hunting bird.
I have a single hunting bird. You are
So
right.
I am going to cash little Mr. Rat right on there.
All right, you already did your lay egg
I did.
action.
I did.
I am going to do a draw food action, and I'm going to force the bird feeder to refresh because there's only 1 food type left.
Yep.
Down the back gauntlet.
Now you get the cherries. I see how this is.
And we are going to go ahead and take the cherries, and we're going to take the worm. Now, the funny note for you viewers, I don't need the cherries. All right. that's my
Interestingly
action.
enough, neither do I
Oh,
anymore. Ooh. Anyway, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a burb. He's gonna be the common swift. He's
Okay.
gonna come out here.
It's a pretty burb.
He costs a worm,
Yep.
but he is now out there. He also costs 2 eggs. My strategy is coming back. It's
Okay.
coming back. It's
And
working.
now you've got to get enough worms to fill that guy.
I do.
That's your next. That's kind of your.
That is potentially my next objective.
Okay. I am. Well, I mean, what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and play a bird. No, I can't. I need eggs. Darn it. Darn it. I just am so excited about this rough that I have. We're gonna get 4 eggs down right here. Sticking with purple, we'll do 1 teal. There we are. Got my eggs.
Cool beans. All right, I'm going to gain food from the feeder.
Okay.
Gain 2.
We got a bunch of wheat.
2 wheat.
Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and play a bird. I'm going to spend 1 egg here. We are putting down the rough. Round end. Tuck up to 3 cards from your hand behind this bird. Draw 1 card for each card you tucked. That's just another whole cycle mechanic.
It is.
It's pretty cool. Also, he's adorable.
He is crazy fashionable.
He's so fancy.
He is the most fashionable
He's
bird
so
I have
fancy.
ever seen.
Yeah, if you ever thought of the royal, like, queen and king
Oh yes,
in duck form,
he is the king.
All right.
There's no doubt.
enough on the rough. Oh my gosh!
So we've got the common goldeneye. That is the card that Jesse was going to be jealous of.
He's a forest-dwelling bird.
He is a forest-dwelling burb. Specifically a forest-dwelling duck burb.
Okay.
And yeah, he's just gonna kind of chill.
Okay, he was gonna hang out.
Yep.
All right. What are we trying to do? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play down here in the gain cards slot.
Oh man.
We've got a kingfisher up there. I get 2 cards. I don't want to play the kingfisher down here. I'm gonna go ahead and draw 1 blind, steal 1 rat from another player's supply, and cash it on this bird. They gain 1 bird from the bird feeder. That's a good generating one, but I'm just gonna draw 2 blind, and then I get 3 more, and I can keep 1 of them. Okay, your turn.
I'm gonna draw a bird card. Oh my.
I've chosen the card I'm keeping. You drew up your cards.
I drew my card. It is back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna do something kind of horrible.
Oh.
So I'm gonna play a bird card.
Okay.
We're playing a red kite. When played, instead of paying any costs, you may play this bird on top of another bird on your player mat. Discard any eggs and food from that bird. It becomes a tucked card. We are landing
Oh, no.
on top of the common nightingale.
Oh, no.
The red kite is now here.
Oh, boy.
Part of me thought it'd be really funny to just take out Rough.
No, don't. Oh, well, you didn't, so it's okay.
I couldn't bring myself to do it.
No, clearly not.
That's such a cool card, though.
That is a very cool,
like sweeping down
Yes.
and just landing.
And it's very thematic to...
Oh, it's as if your preserve is like transforming in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, it is an active and living space.
That's cool.
Okay, so I'm going to gain food from the bird feeder. I'm going to re-roll all of this stuff.
Okay.
If you could be so kind.
Sure.
Including the rat. All right, excellent. I'm going to pay my extra bird card to take these guys.
So I'm going to do another pretty cool thing. We kind of just checked to see if there was an answer to this. The rulebook doesn't specify it, so we are going to do our own version in a way. I have a Eurasian hobby that I just picked up. When played, same thing. Instead of paying any costs, you may play this on top of another bird. Basically, all of my peaceful little birds are being devoured.
Being devoured by your... Yeah.
We are turning this into a predator and duck habitat.
Yep.
Do you think many people play Wingspan quite as thematically as I do?
Probably not, but that's okay because it needs to be done.
So the ruling we've decided is that sideways cards that take up 2 space because of their territory, the way they fly, if a predator comes in and sweeps them, it cycles down to the least available one.
I think that makes the most sense.
Because they really would only kind of have that territory.
So leave your thoughts in the comments as to whether or not you think that's correct. Or maybe, in fact, BGG has already figured this out for us and we just haven't figured it out
We
yet.
haven't touched on it. That's my last action, though, because that was another bird card.
And yeah, that was the end of the actions.
Okay.
So, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Actually, I have a lot of stuff going on. You have one thing.
I've got one.
Why don't you do yours first?
Round end. Tuck 3 cards from your hand behind this bird. Draw 1 for each card you tucked. I'm going to tuck all 3 of my cards.
Yep.
And I'm going to go ahead and draw 3 cards back up.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. So, guys, a goose is not a duck, but a goose is a goose.
A goose is duck adjacent.
Duck adjacent. I like that. Almost like Jan is
Quackalope adjacent.
Quackalope adjacent.
Yeah.
A goose is duck adjacent. Okay.
All right.
What do you got going on?
So technically, according to the rules, I was supposed to do mine first, but whatever. So we're gonna start up here with the common goldeneye. Lay 1 egg on this bird for each other bird with a hole nest that you have. I unfortunately have one other one, so he has to have an egg. So I am sacrificing falling on my sword to do that, which that's unfortunate, but that's okay.
I think it's perfectly fine.
I bet you do. However, this is going to be great. Choose one player. Jesse, you look like you have hunting birds. So
I do have
you
hunting
look like
birds.
you also added a bunch.
I have 3.
So Carrion Crow is going to get 3 little rats placed on him. Now, the common swift. Round end. Discard up to 5 worms from your supply. For each, tuck 1 bird from the deck behind this bird. So I've got 3 worms.
3.
And I'm going to take 3 of these guys.
Nice.
Don't even know what they are. Don't care.
Oh my gosh, the swan.
They are now a member of the Swift flock.
Cool.
There we go.
Okay, let's go ahead and resolve this. Birds with no eggs. I believe I take the victory here.
You do on a very unfortunate technique.
And the last one's going to be birds with tucked cards. So
Going to be...
we're both taking a swing at it.
Yes.
You're more piled, but I'm a little bit more spread here. So let's see here. We're pulling a common buzzard. When played, instead of paying the cost, you may play this bird on top of another bird. We've seen that ability a few times. We have a Montague's Harrier. When played, same thing. Instead of paying the cost, you may play it on top of another card.
Wow, there are violent birds in Europe.
And we have Benelli's Eagle. When played, for each rat in this bird's cost, you may pay 1 card from your hand instead. If you do, tuck the paid card behind this card. Who knew Europe was so violent?
I certainly didn't know.
Holy cow.
So, something that I've noticed here, once between turns, when another player tucks a bird for any reason, tuck 1 from the deck behind this bird. So, I've kind of forgotten about that.
You've had that played.
I've had that
at
played for a
least
while.
for 3 of these activations.
So
Tuck 3 cards.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm glad we came to an agreement. I was going to be like, I forgot, so I guess I won't do that. But Jesse is being more than generous.
No. I know you've had it for at least 3 of those there. These are all new mechanics that
They
we're
are.
following. So,
They
like, you got to have a little bit of,
I agree.
And I'm going to win anyway, so... Because I got a goose.
You do have a goose.
All right, let's go ahead and pull these down to the side.
Yep.
And I'm going to focus heavily on getting my goose played. How do I do this? Let's see here. All right. In order to get my goose played, I need to gain some food. So I'm going to play here.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and draw that wheat. Could I force a reroll in the middle of this now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to force a reroll on that last piece of food there. And I'm going to draw a second wheat. And I have to discard a card in order to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that.
All right. Makes sense. I'm going to draw a bird card. I only get to draw 1.
Now remember, you've got that whole selection up there you can pull from.
I do.
Okay.
But I like this guy.
Yeah, sounds good. My turn?
Yep.
Surprise, surprise, I'm going to lay a whole bunch of eggs. We're just going to pile on some eggs here. Egg for you. Egg for you. All right, awesome.
All right. I'm going to gain some food from the bird feeder.
Okay.
So what I want to do is gain this guy, which is an invertebrate / worm. And then... this is terrible. I'll gain a fish.
Okay, my turn?
Yep.
We are finally playing a bird. Playing a bird, we're playing the goose. 2 wheat plus 2 of any other resource allows me to go ahead and pay the 3 wheat cost. Round end, this bird counts double towards the end of round goal if it qualifies for the goal. This bird won't qualify for the
No, it
goal,
will not.
but he is an adorable goose, and I have to pay 1 egg for that cost.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to take some time to lay some bird eggs.
Yeah, they're worth victory points at the end, so it's not a bad idea.
Nope.
I'm going to go ahead and play here. I am going to draw 2 cards. I could pay an egg for an additional card. I don't think I need to.
I don't think you need to either.
Let's see. Question is what I want to do. So I'm going to draw up this guy here. That's one of them. Does this get refreshed immediately?
No.
Okay. So this goes into my hand. And then I can draw 2 and choose one of them to keep. So let's see here. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'll be able to play this guy, but I just pulled a flamingo.
Ho!
That is also, for the record, duck adjacent.
That is duck adjacent.
Duck
yes.
adjacent. All right,
Fully
discarding
agree.
this one, keeping this in my hand. And I believe I have 1 action left, you have 2 actions left, and then this game is over.
This is not great. But it is good?
No, it's not. Definitely
No,
not
it's
good.
not good.
Definitely
All
not
right.
good. You're taking food?
I'm taking a wheat.
Okay. All right. I'm going to sweep in.
Hold on. Oh, you're going to sweep in? What are you sweeping in?
I'm sweeping in. This gets refilled now, right?
Oh,
For
yes.
you. Okay.
Okay, so you
What are you
re-roll those for me.
You
so
took
I can-
wheat, right?
I took a wheat, and then there was
got
only
one
cherry
more?
left, so I can...
I'm sweeping in. Remember how I said a few turns ago that this is going to turn into a party of ducks
Ducks and predators.
and predators?
I do remember
We're
that.
finishing this off. When played, instead of paying any cost, you may play this on top of another bird on your player mat, discard any eggs and food from that bird. We now have a predator and duck only habitat,
You most certainly do.
which is bad news for the ducks.
Very bad news for the ducks.
Which is good news for the Quackalopes because they have grown antlers to defend themselves against the predators. Basically,
Yes.
this has been an ornithological study.
Offense and defense.
This has been an ornithological study of how the humble Quackalope comes to be. My habitat is the breeding grounds for such a beast.
It most certainly is. All right, so I have to decide
People are gonna watch this and then get
So
to this point.
you tucked a bird, right?
I did, yes.
All right. So my European goldfinch.
Oh, I
gets a
hate that you
tucker.
take advantage of that. It's real unfortunate.
It is. So let's see.
I just can't wait to beat you, despite the fact that I'm playing the most ridiculous game of Wingspan possible.
And as unfortunate as it is, it seems that you may end up doing so, which is unfortunate. So we're gonna play a burb.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh.
He's the white-throated dipper.
I like him. What's his flavor text?
The dipper gets its name from the frequent bobbing motion it makes. It lives in Europe, also in Asia, as
Nice.
far down as Indonesia, which is nice. So we're gonna pay 2 wheat and a fish for the privilege, and that's it for me.
I had a friend that looked through this.
Yes.
And they said, I don't like birds, but I like knowing them by name, so when I yell at them, I can get it correct.
You white-throated dipper.
That is the end of my game.
That is the end of my game as well.
Let's trigger round
ends. Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and trigger mine. My goose would count as double, but he doesn't count for anything.
Sadly.
But in his mind, he still counts as double
Oh, of course.
because he's a good goose. I tucked 3 cards behind this card. So we're going to go ahead and do that.
That
ruff.
is crazy.
My ruff is the fanciest bird
So
in the pond.
I'm gonna start with my Mr. Goldeneye.
Don't forget to tuck 1.
because you did.
Oh, wait.
No,
One's between turns. So
this
it
is
wouldn't
end
be
of round.
Okay.
Lay 1 on egg on this bird for each other bird that has a nest like that. There are 2 others, so he gets 2 eggs.
It's not bad.
The carrion crow. I believe you added yet another hunter, so you have
You got
4
4
now.
You got 4.
All right.
Those are all victory points too, aren't they?
They are.
Oh.
I'll take 4 free points.
You're playing off my board. You're playing off
I
my
did,
board well.
and I think it came out well. Although you've been tucking a lot of birds, which is
I don't know if
frightening.
I've tucked enough.
Speaking of tucking, I'm gonna discard those 2 so I can tuck
You're tucking too.
behind
See,
the common swift.
those tucking powers, I think, offset my tucking.
I don't know that they do, but we'll find out.
Playing with the amount of rats you have,
That's true.
you have a habitat that really could. Let's check. So right now, birds with tucked cards. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birds with tucked cards.
I only have 2.
So I'm taking that top zone. And now it just comes down to scoring. So I'll grab a pen here. We have Q for Quackalope. We have W for William. And birds. Just start with your bird scoring points at the top. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 28. I'm looking at 32.
27.
27.
I
Okay.
think.
Bonus cards. So my bonus card was birds with tucked cards. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. It's going to give me 3 victory points.
So I have 2, one of which I did not do at all.
Okay.
The other one that I did do is bird bander, birds that can live in multiple habitats. I
Okay.
have 4 of those, which gets 4 points.
Okay. End of round goals. So it's going to be this here, right?
Yep.
So I'm at 1, 4, 10, 17. And you're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. Eggs. I got a solid 3.
I have a solid 6.
6. Food on cards. I got none.
I've got several.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. And finally, tucked cards. Let's go ahead and see how many cards actually got tucked. 1, 2. I had a total of 12 tucked cards.
I had 10.
Whoa. All right, let's go ahead and do the maths. So, end game scoring, 67 to 69.
That was closer than I thought it would be. This made the difference. It made all the difference in the world. Now, I will say, because there seem to be a lot more hunting birds in this European expansion than the overall Wingspan universe.
Sure.
The Wingspan expanded
That's
universe.
not quite as powerful.
Right. It came in very handy right now.
Yes.
It may not be as powerful when you mix it in properly with all cards that are available.
Well, and you also have to consider, I was going duck only.
Yes, you were playing a very distinct strategy.
Very distinct strategy.
Which I was playing a common game of Wingspan.
And I think, because we realized that this was once between turns, one of these tuck cards wouldn't have been there.
Potentially.
Because I
but
gave
don't
you
know.
one for my rough, which wasn't actually end goal only. So really, we're looking at 68 to 67, almost even across the board. 69, like, I think you still won. I think strategically you played a better game than me, but thematically...
So imagine what would happen if he actually played a strategic game instead of...
Well, that's a fair point.
Yeah, it is.
That has happened. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you sticking it through for this Wingspan European expansion. If you've watched to this point, let us know your thoughts. Have you got to play it yet? Are you convinced that you're going to pick it up? William, what do you think of the way that it changes the game so far?
I think this adds a lot more player interaction. You're going to be looking at other players' boards. In a basic game of Wingspan, you don't necessarily care too much about what the other players are doing unless they're taking the cards that you want from the open face display.
Sure.
Which doesn't happen a lot. A lot of people want to go for what they don't know because it could be anything. So I think this expands upon base Wingspan. Great. These round end cards are fantastic. They add a lot to it. Plus the hunting bird powers. There were hunting bird powers in base Wingspan, but they weren't as interesting as these are.
These are more compelling, thematic, and aggressive, and I like that. It does seem to make it harder to tuck piles of cards underneath some of them, whereas like spreading your hunting out seems to be a little bit more the gameplay. In base Wingspan, I would get a stack, like a pile of cards.
Sure.
Which is a little bit different to how these play. I have to say, some of the new duck and duck adjacent birds are absolutely fantastic. Great picks there. Can't wait for the Quackalope to be integrated. The coolest power for me, I would have to say, I really found this great crested greb fascinating. I liked the way that it played off of the rest of my open space and allowed me to cycle that deck.
Of course.
And the round end, so the main thing that this expansion introduces, doesn't interrupt the flow of the game.
No, not at all.
My favorite thing when it comes to expansions right now are expansions that don't try to change a game that's already good. And this one doesn't do that.
It adds.
I mean, we basically played the European-only version of this game.
Which is
now.
Wingspan by itself, if you have not had a chance to play, is a tremendous game in and of its own right.
And the fact that we just played with
Almost
only things that came in the box, other than like player boards and stuff. Like this was a very European-only deck.
Yes.
And it functioned.
It did.
On its own.
It did.
It worked. It was the same game, and then you just mix those in together. I really appreciate that.
I do as well.
So this was cool. Good job, Elizabeth. Good job, Jamie, on getting this game to the table.
And we would also be remiss if we didn't talk really quickly about the new art on these cards. Wingspan was obviously known for its bird art. This is just as good. It's just as elevated, and we'd be remiss if we didn't say a wonderful job to Natalia Rojas, Ana Maria Martinez Jaramillo, and Beth Sobel.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely beautiful and continuing.
Yeah, great illustrations, great graphic design. Everything's clear, concise, easy to play. If you've watched through this and you haven't, here's two things. If you've watched through this and you haven't played or don't currently own Wingspan, get it. If you've watched an hour-long gameplay, you're clearly going to love the game.
Yep.
If you're watching this to see if the European expansion is something that should be integrated into your current library, if you get Wingspan to the table more often than not, or you want to kind of fill out an already really rich and good game, this doesn't disrupt. It adds to the core game. I'm just going to mix it into the main box, and I don't do that very often with expansions. I won't feel bad by shuffling these together at all.
No, not at all.
So, hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Thank you for playing.
Yes, thank you.
Despite the fact that you won, that's not something Jan typically does. If you've made it to this point, let us know your thoughts. What do you think of the expansion? What do you think of the gameplay? And are you trying to go on a duck-themed excursion next time you play Wingspan yourself? Trust me, it's the best strategy. It always leads to a victory. Whatever you do, though, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. We'll see you next time. Thank you.